Alright, now here's part of that whole electrical scenario. See, this truck has no running lights, no gauge cluster lights, and there's a few other little electrical issues, but it's all linking to the same area. See, if I got the switch all the way out, I have my headlights. That's high beam. Push them in, they're off. Pull them out, turn on. That's low. That's high. Well, after doing some backwoods redneck ingenuity with a small piece of scrap wire, my drop light's not cooperating tonight. That's estimated right around the same gauge thickness. You always want to stay with the same gauge. Green wire to the dimmer switch, which is right there. The green is your hot wire. Now if you go from green to the pinkish looking wire, that is your low beam. Now if you go from your green wire to these two red wires, that is your high beam. Now I noticed when I had turned the headlight switch on, so I don't kill my battery, it interfered with the radio, which it should not do that. Now what I need to do is trace out these wires, because I noticed there's somewhat of an issue there. So I had a loose connection, a messed up wire, or hard to say. The green wire you currently see that's right here, that I just mentioned, is this green wire here. This here green wire is your main feed wire down to your dimmer switch. So that part's figured out. The two red wires, I gotta trace them out. I imagine one may go to the headlight switch. I might be wrong. The other one, hard to say, or both may run outwards. I have to trace all that out. Figure out what's what. Don't mind this here little electrical, whatever you want to call this. Shouldn't even be in the truck, in fact. That's weight reduction. This here, that crap you just seen me rip out, what it was for the other carburetor. They had an electric choke wired to it. It did not work. That carburetor, in fact, it ain't even on the truck. It's a different one. So it ain't even needed. It's taking up space. It don't serve a purpose, it leaves. That's my opinion. So I'm going to trace these out. There's probably going to be multiple parts or a little series just on the running lights. Now hopefully, I do believe this weekend it's scheduled for a person I know that does wiring harnesses. He's going to come down. I'll find out exact date and all that. We'll show you how to take from the battery, follow that wire all the way back to where it meets in the fuse box, well, where it meets at the firewall, and do the repair correctly the first time, just so you never have issues again. In fact, I'm going to take and show you. Because these wires do not take much to break. One-handed open hood, nice. Now in this 86 Dodge, this light brown wire here, which goes from light brown to like a reddish color. This wire here hooks directly to your battery. There's another piece to it which is laying in the truck. This battery, due to not having a hold down, fell down. In fact, it actually melted some of the coating right there, which I got to put a new ground wire on it now. This battery fell and landed there. Well, in the process, it pulled this black wire out and it broke this one off. This wire here is the main feed wire. It goes from here to, if I remember, pin number 19, and then goes in through the harness, through the firewall to a fuse, and then from the fuse it goes over to the relay. This is for your 4-ways. For the truck to start and operate and run, it don't have to be hooked up. You only have to have this for your 4-ways. This wire here, the black one, goes black and turns into red, and it's a smaller wire there. I don't know why Chrysler did it that way. I gotta do some research because I don't think this is right. This here wire, if it is unhooked, you will have no power. This red wire here goes from here down to your starter. Now this here, if I remember, they consider a steel inline fusible link. Chrysler's notorious for these. At least that's what I was told this is. It is like an inline fuse. But previous on other Dodges I've had, I've actually had to pull this apart, unplug it, clean up the connections inside, plug it back in, and it straightened out, and I had power again. Make sure that's clean, make sure it's hooked up. In fact, yeah, I might want to tighten them up. Don't go cheap with the battery terminal ends. This is like $4 or $5. Get you a good. Otherwise, every few days you're going to have this issue. And that's even with these little suckers tightened down. There'll be a video on this on a previous upcoming date. That's going to go to the fuse box. Well, to right there. Showing how to properly repair this wire. I mean, you could strip it back, twist the wire together, solder it, put shrink wrap on it, call it a day. You could take, skip it, well, yeah. You could skin it back, you could put a butt connector on it, wire it back together, call it good. Those are a few ways. End of the day, it's a wire that's cut that should have been just pulled out and fixed correctly. By just taking a few minutes doing that, it could save you a lot of time. That'll be on a future video.